Well, hello, and welcome to your midweek update for Wednesday, May 27th. We have several things to get to today, and then we're going to try and end on a different note with something hopefully a little bit fun. But first, I wanted to take a minute and address what I'm sure many of you have been reading in the news and probably talking about and thinking about, and that is that the government of Saskatchewan has announced that on June 8th, as part of the Phase 3 of reopening, that churches will be allowed to reopen. That's great news. I'm so excited about that. The unfortunate part is we don't yet have any details about what that looks like. There are no details on guidelines or protocols that have to be followed. And so we don't have any information other than we know something is coming. I know the government is working with faith leaders to determine what those protocols will be. Several denominational reps have been in on those meetings, and we are awaiting those details right now. So as of yet, we don't have a specific plan to announce. Hopefully there will be one forthcoming once we know the details. But as we make those decisions, I want to ask you to continue to pray for me. This is a very difficult decision to be making. I found this graphic online this week, and I think this is probably what pastors all over the world are feeling right now. The reality is that no matter what decision is made, there will be some people who are uncomfortable with coming to church and being physically present for the foreseeable future, and that's okay. There are others, and I've spoken to some of you, who feel like we should already be holding services in person again. There are no good answers here. We need to pray for wisdom from God to do the right thing. We have a high calling to make sure that we are being safe and that the sanctity of human life takes precedence over our desire to see one another. Now, that doesn't mean that our desire to see one another and be in community is not important, and we want to try and balance those things. So please pray for me this week. I am so blessed that I don't have to make this decision alone. First of all, we serve a good God who provides wisdom and discernment, and we lean on him. But we're also blessed to have a church leadership that is gifted and knowledgeable and wise, and we are working together as the details come out about what things look like. We will be announcing them, and we are working together on deciding and trying to discern what the best approach for our church is. So stay tuned for that. As many of you know, and as we announced a couple of weeks ago, Nikki and her family are on the move. By the time you receive this, Nikki's already going to be in the final stages of packing her house and making the move, and they leave shortly. So for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be the only one here in the office at the church. So I'm going to ask, for my own sake and for the safety of everyone, if you need to stop by, if you need to see someone or do something or pick up something here at the church, please call or email ahead, simply so that I can make sure I'm here, because I do have meetings outside this church building often. Call or email ahead, and then that way I can also know if I need to assist with that or help how I can. If you come and the door is locked, that doesn't always mean that I'm not here. Spend some time knocking on the door first. Sometimes that door is locked simply because I'm in a meeting with my door closed and want to make sure there aren't people wandering through the building. So call or email ahead, please. The church contact, the main email address will still be monitored, so that's fine. As we talked about last week, I asked for you to watch last week's worship service in community and take a picture. We've received a few pictures already. If you've forgotten to send your picture, please do so. If you forgot to take a picture and just want to take a picture of your family now and send it to the church office, please do that. We want to put together a quick slideshow, and I know that in these kind of situations, everybody thinks, well, I'll leave that for other people. No, I'm asking you specifically. Please send a picture so that we can send that out to everyone and remind everyone that we are still a community. I want to end with something a little bit different, and she doesn't know I'm going to do this, but Andrea Dunn sparked something that a few people have talked to me about, and so we're going to try doing a contest. When I posted my midweek update last week, Andrea posted in a comment on our YouTube page that she was distracted by these books behind me. I'm sitting in front of these books because the window in my office creates a big glare. I wasn't just trying to impress you with my very small book collection. But Andrew mentioned in a comment on our YouTube page that she was distracted trying to figure out what books were what and trying to figure out what books I've got on my shelf here. So I'm going to adjust around a little bit right now, and basically here's what we're going to do. Throughout these midweek updates, I'm going to sit now directly in front of my bookshelves. And at the end, once we are meeting back in person and we do away with these midweek updates or change the format of them, I'm going to ask for all those who wish to participate, try and figure out if you can tell me the title and author's name of as many books on my bookshelf as you can. For the person who comes up with the most correct, there will be a prize. This takes me back to my days as a youth leader and a youth pastor, trying to come up with a prize. I promise you this won't be something that I'm just going to come up with on the fly. There's a decent prize at the end of this, and maybe at some point we'll share what that is. But this is more for bragging rights and just something fun for us to do in the meantime right now, because there's just so much seriousness in the world today. And so a few of you have mentioned that you've been already playing this game, trying to figure out what books are on my bookshelf. You'll notice there's a lot of diversity among these books. I'm going to just mention that the ones up here in this corner do not count. You don't get to guess hymnals in the Bible. That doesn't really qualify, particularly when you're trying to come up with who the author is. Saying the Bible and God, well, we all can just already include that one. But other than that, if you want to do any research or try and figure out or see if you can see the spine of the book and figure out and come up with a list of as many, do this as a family, do this together. That's okay. It doesn't have to be individuals. And to the team or the person who comes up with the most correct, there will be a prize. All right, I have taken up enough of your time now, and so I'm just going to say God bless you all this week, and I look forward to continuing to commune with you from afar and hopefully soon in person. God bless.